The average person spends around $175 on Valentine's Day gifts. Wait, what? What's good, y'all? Welcome back to another episode. Love is in the air for some of y'all, whether you're allergic to air, love, birds, candy, chocolate. Let's begin with a story. So, take my buddy Nick to the side of us. He's not here. He's currently working at his business. Before he worked at a business, though, Nick was your average individual who went to school in the morning from 8 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon, trying to get his bachelor's degree. Since school is expensive, he works a job in the evening. So about 2 years of doing this, Nick gets bored and eventually tired of doing this repeated cycle. So what does Nick do? He decides to work on a business. The business, I won't get into too much details, though Nick spent lots of time and effort into this business. He paid tons of attention to launch this business. 2 years later, after he launches this business, Nick is wealthy enough to retire early and not have to worry about working. After about 4 or 5 years of enjoying this wealth, Nick gets bored and eventually he wants to do more. So what does he do? He decides to expand on his business. He puts more time, more attention. He improves himself so the business can get better. Now, what does this have to do with relationships? Relationships are a time investment. Relationships are not built overnight. This goes to anything, though specifically I want to talk about loving relationships, being with that significant other, going from that stranger stage from like, hey, we have the same class, to what do you want to do later today? From my thoughts, I feel there are 4 different stages of relationships. The first stage is that stranger stage, that meet someone just randomly, have a conversation, you guys connect. It's about all you do. You may have a class if you guys are in school. You may be co-workers, or you may have a mutual friends. Shout out to all those mutual friends that hook up with your homies. Though the stranger stage, we develop these emotions that we may or may not like this individual. Some of us, we take that risk. I'm like, hey, let's go on a date. Let's make time out of our day to go spend time with this individual. Eventually, once you get past this stranger stage, we go into that boyfriend-girlfriend stage where you want to do everything and you would do anything to spend time with this individual. I feel this is where you start learning your love language. Some of us, we enjoy spending time with your significant crush. Some of us, we enjoy receiving gifts. It's as simple as just buying a Powerade or some candy, just to show how much you care for them or love them, depending on how far you are. And there's 3 other love languages, which are acts of service, words of affirmation, and physical touch. From this boyfriend-girlfriend stage, eventually you get tired of just being boyfriend-girlfriend. Some of us, we want to move in with our significant other. We want to spend more time than we already have. So what do? Similar to Nick, we spend more time and attention. We give more to this relationship that we are in. Engagement would be another way to put it. Personally, I've never been engaged since I'm still young. Though, from my understanding and being around individuals that are engaged or were engaged, they say it's time investment. It's a lot of preparation mentally, physically, and spiritually for all those religious individuals, because this is a commitment. Relationships are commitment, just like work. What we do is we invest time into it. That's the one thing in life that we'll never get back is time, which I believe is the reason why so many of us have a hard time committing to a relationship or committing to being with someone for so long. It's that commitment. How do we know something will work? And unfortunately, the truth is we really don't know. None of us are telepathically, if that's a correct word, knowledgeable of how, if we know something will work or not. Personally, with myself, I've only been in one relationship so far, and we're still doing well. It's been about maybe 4 or 5 years, and we're still learning. It's both our first relationships, and we're doing amazing. So you really don't know at the end of the day. So going back to this engagement, we need to think about we get to think about the future. Do I want to spend the rest of my life with this significant other? Majority of us, when we say yes, we want to spend time, we sooner or later propose. Shout out to all the men that propose, because I guess that's one of the things that we must do, which sacrifice. Relationships require sacrifice, just like work and business. From the engagement, we go to marriage. Again, I've never been married because never engaged. So, hey, marriage. That's when a lot of us feel in a relationship, that's where it ends, which it's not true. That's still one of the worst things you can think about. We're married. What more is there to do? Have an open mindset. There's always something more. Like Nick, when he got his business, when he made it, he got bored. There was nothing for him that he could do at that level. So he decided to improve himself so he can get more. It's one of those things. You got to work on your inside. Well, not so much in this case, but you got to give to receive back. And same thing in a relationship. Just because you're married does not mean you can just be yourself. You can just go back to how you were. That's not why you married someone. So you can go back to how you were. No one wants to be with someone that digresses. That's the correct term. They want to see someone that progresses, that improves. Think about any of y'all who are watching or listening in. Do you want to spend time with someone that is not improving? Granted, there are some exceptions, so that's not what we're talking about. Someone that's choosing, that has the capability to improve, yet they choose not to. None of us want to be with someone that doesn't want to be better. Wouldn't you agree? And in this stage, when people are in marriage, they choose to not improve. What do they do? Unfortunately, a good chunk of them, they either point the blame or they find other solutions to fill their needs. The book Love and Respect, I don't remember the name off the top of my head, the author, but the book talks about love and respect, what men want and women desire. I believe that's what it is. Men want respect, so they give respect to women. However, women want love and they give love. You give what you want at the end of the day. In this case, going back with marriage, men, when we see something that isn't working, we want to figure out how to make it better, how to change it. A lot of us were doers. That's that testosterone speaking in us. We want to do something. We don't want to watch it die down. We want to figure out how to improve this. Women, on the other hand, with a lot more estrogen than testosterone, that's a tough word to say, a lot of them, they like to talk about it. They figure out how would you say, not from a psychological perspective, though from a mental perspective, they try to figure out how to make things work. Where men, they just do it. We don't really think as much sometimes. So anyways, what what people who are struggling in a marriage do. Some of us, we go to counseling, which I highly recommend is a great idea. Always reach out to someone that's more knowledgeable. Speaking for someone that's not as knowledgeable, though, you always want to go. So you want to find people that have the life that you want. Just take it with marriage. If you see someone that has an amazing marriage, wouldn't you want to talk to them to see what they did? Same thing with business. Kind of going back to Nick's perspective. Nick went to find other people. He wanted to improve himself so he can work on his business. So he searched for other people who had businesses that were better than his, that were in the same market and were better. You always want to improve at the end of the day. With going back to this relationship and marriage, you always want to improve. Sometimes it's going to be difficult. Going back to what I said earlier, relationships take time. It's not going to change overnight. With marriage, a lot of reasons I feel people get divorced is that we don't know how to fix something. A lot of us, we want to do it now. We're a microwave society. We see everything and we want it quickly done. And that's not the case when it comes to marriage, let alone relationships. It's going to take time. You won't see it happening overnight. A lot of women, as men, we should know at least, that women just want to be heard. Whereas men, a lot of us, we like to talk and speak about things. So as men, we shall listen to our significant other. Listen and understand what they're saying. Sometimes they say, like, give an example. If you're with your significant other, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever the situation may be, you forget to leave the cap toothpaste, or you leave the lights on. Your significant other would say, "Hey, why didn't you turn the lights off?" As men, we like to defend our case, like, "Oh, I forgot, blah 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 blah, XYZ." Not a bad answer. However, we can just simply say, like, "Oh, my apologies. I'll turn them off next time." Keep it simple. Why try to stir apart? This is just an example, though. Put that into a broader perspective. When a woman asks, or they mention something, let's see what they're really saying. Kind of go under what they are speaking, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't, but yeah. With that being said, relationships are fun. It's a lot of work, though at the end of the day, it goes back to this. Do you want to spend time with someone that you love and care for? Or are you just there to mess around? Never waste someone's time because you don't know. That being said, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any comments, leave it down below. If you guys are expert in this, let me know. I'm always looking to improve. Shout out to Nick to the side of us. You guys didn't know the sarcasm. There wasn't really sarcasm there, but Nick was just an imaginary guy. I thought to him. Appreciate you guys for tuning in one more time. Pass a smile. Stay safe. Happy Valentine's Day to all y'all. See you guys next time.